welcome back to the channel. Welcome to old and new viewers. Hopefully I might have something you might want to have a look at. Today's video is my what have I coloured this month for July. And as you can see, I've got a bit of a pile. Well, maybe you can't see because it's all stacked up, but I've got a bit of a pile to go through. If I'm honest, didn't get as many done as I would have liked this month, really. Work was pretty hectic in July, and then obviously we had pretty hot weather in the UK, and my house was like an oven, and having been in an oven all day at school with a lot of children in the same room, yeah, I didn't have much brain or eyes left by the time I got home. So there was a whole week where, if I'm really honest, I got very little done, little to nothing. So yeah, this month's been a bit of a catch-up month, really, for me. So if I shift my pile over, hopefully without knocking my drink all the way over. Oh, Shireen just takes over so much desk. Yeah, this I didn't get to, so this still remains a whip. Confessing my naughty sins, that yeah, I still haven't done anything. Do intend to come back to that this month because this is a beautiful book, and yeah, I want to finish a page in it. But yes, that was still a naughty whip. I shall put it onto my whip. And this one is also a whip that I did start, but I just ran out of time to do it. So yeah, it was in my what am I going to colour, and as you can see, I've just started on the bow and a little bit of his heart. It's only just a whip, really, isn't it? Not done any more on it, so they're my two naughty. Didn't get to, but I did get to the rest of these, and I'm going to bring you down a bit now. I've got Serene off the desk because Serene just takes up the whole desk. It's so big. So I did do my first page in Alice in Wonderland by Fabiana Atinasio. This is such a lovely book and is definitely a book I will be returning to. So yeah, I got this page done that I think was one of the ones, I can't get my silly bookmark thing off, there we go. This was one of the ones that I'd highlighted as one that I was going to get done this month. And yeah, I'm fairly pleased with it. I quite enjoy little pages like this that have got a bit of portrait, it's a bit silly, and it's got a little bit of detail on it as well to work through. These were, I think all of them, all the little characters were in my usual luminance. Excuse me while I just move a wire because I keep knocking it, it's getting on nerves. Were in luminance. I think the background was a prisma. And there is a little bit of, I think it's Signo Sparkling Crystal Silver. I think it's one of those rather than the Pentel for a change, just because I wanted something that's a little bit more glittery rather than colour changey. And I think it's a little bit on his crown as well, just even though my camera today doesn't seem to want to focus close up, sorry. You can kind of see it from there a little bit, can't you? But yeah, I really enjoyed working on this page. It was fun, did take a little bit of time, there's quite a bit of detail in it, but yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I think this is definitely a book that's likely to pop up again. Oh, I like this page in particular. There's quite a few pages in here that I think, oh yeah, I'd really like to do those. Only I had way more time than I actually do. But yeah, Alice in Wonderland, Fabiana Atinasio, lovely book, total recommend if you can get hold of it. It's easier said than done to find it. Another one that obviously I really enjoy working in is Clara Markova and Fairy Celebrations, and this is my second page in this book up to now, because this one's a fairly new to me book. It still doesn't want to sit flat though. This one is in Derwent Pro Colour. I do still quite like the Pro Colour on Clara's paper. Clara's paper has this very smooth consistency, and it even though I love my luminance, I just don't like them on this paper. I've seen quite a few people are still using them in it, so clearly it's just me that's got some kind of problem with it. I don't know, but I don't like them in it, so yeah, I don't tend to use my luminance in here anymore. So yeah, Pro Colour, I do like the Pro Colour in here, because obviously you can layer quite a lot, you can really build it up. I think my only criticism really is I just wish there was a few more pencils in it, really. I've got the 72 set, But yeah, I kind of feel like I'm always looking for another shade. So I have used my Holbein pastels with the Pro Colour, and that's kind of worked okay, even though they aren't similar pencils. And I think I've used some Derwent Drawing as well in the little little moons that are almost look like well, I was kind of done them as though they're kind of gold or brass or something like that. But yeah, so Pro Colours, Holbein, Derwent Drawing. There's a bit of Posca on some outlines. The moon, I don't know how well it's showing up. Oh, you can kind of see it. The moon is the Art Spirits Stardust paint. I think this is the first time I've used any metallic paint in her books, and I'm fairly pleased with how it's gone. It's not kind of wrinkled the page too much, it's not gone through. I do get, as you can kind of see, quite a bit of back print on these back copies, but I'm not sure I'm going to colour the back copies, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, a little bit of the Art Spirits paint that I was really pleased with, and again some Signo sparkling gel pens, gold and silver. There's a little bit in the flowers, there's a little bit of the watercolour paint on her wings and on the little bees' wings as well, here and there. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I always enjoy Clara Markova page. They just cheer me up. They've got combinations of all the things that I really enjoy colouring. Greenery, flowers, bit of clothing. For some reason I really like doing the berries, not eyeballs, Joanna. But I really enjoy doing some of the berries and the leaves. It's quite funny, isn't it, really? Like, I find Joanna Basford's leaves, because there's so many of them, quite annoying. But for some reason, I quite enjoy doing Clara Markova's leaves. I don't know what there's not as many on her pages, I suppose. But yeah, who knows? Don't brains work in funny ways. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It's fun page to do. Oh, I think I've got a little bit of black glazed jelly roll in their eyes as well, looking at it, because their eyes are pretty reflective. But yeah, that's my second page out of Fairy Celebrations by Clara Markova. Just put my list back, then I don't totally forget what I've done in there. Next one was not on my to be coloured list, but yeah, like I say, work has been busy, and I just wanted something that was a bit more chilled out. So this is a fairly old book to me now, one that I bought a long time ago, but it is one that I find myself going back to quite often. So Mandalas, Magical Nature by Coolio, and yeah, this was a simple one, but again, one that I just enjoyed doing, really. Let me flip it over so that I've got a bit more room on my desk. But all the butterfly and the flower were in my Winsor & Newton letter set pro markers. This kind of image is one of the few times where they're a really bonus alcohol pen to use, because the nib is quite fine, so you can actually get into some of these details a bit more than perhaps I could have done with my Copics or something like that. And this kind of colour palette that I've picked on here just kind of developed quite slowly, really. It's quite odd colouring for me, this kind of limey green, yellow, orange mix. Yeah, it was a bit strange, but yeah, I quite like it. It's kind of a bit unusual, but I quite like it. I've used some Spectra AD markers. I've had these ages and ages. Can I reach one? They're quite strange. I think I got them from, if you're in the UK, from Hobbycraft, but these aren't particularly cheap. They have a brush nib, and they have a chisel on the other side. The only thing I have found, they don't seem to have a huge amount of ink in these, and I'm not aware that we can get any inks to refill these. Anybody seen any refills for these in the UK? Be interested to know. Is it worth doing? Because they're not my favourite marker, but I've probably got about 30 of them. So yeah, I would like to refill them if possible. But yeah, I used a bit of those as well. Again, there's a couple of colours that I have in those that I quite like, but they are old, but they're still in good nick. kept the ink together okay, as long as you shut them properly, they seem to last okay. Background on this is my Nouveau embellishment mousse. Have I got one to hand? Yeah, this stuff. And the craft shop near me that I really did quite like sadly shut down, but the bonus of it shutting down, as much as I was disappointed, was they were selling these off completely half price. So I got a few of these, and I didn't really know what they were, but I thought the colours were lovely. And yeah, I really quite like them. They're, well, as it says, it's a mousse, but I wouldn't describe it as a mousse, really. It feels much more like a waxy product, but it's definitely a water-based item. So when I was going on here, I just did it with my soft kind of makeup craft blenders on the background, but when I was going in some of the details, you can actually put a bit on the palette, water it down and use it with a paintbrush, so it's quite adaptable product. It probably needed another coat, but I kind of quite like that kind of slightly distressed look to it, where it's not completely matte on the surface. But yeah, so that was the background in, what colour was that one? I can't talk. Lilac lavender. I don't know why I couldn't get my teeth around that, but I couldn't. But yeah, so that's my page this month in, and a little bit of stickles in whatever that orangey colour is. I don't know, I haven't written down and it's not to hand, sorry. But yeah, my page in Mandalas Magical Nature by Colour. That was just feel like doing it, so I'm gonna do it. Then this was a completely uncoloured book for me. I think this was a gift from Christmas, but I don't think it was this Christmas. I think it was the Christmas before. It's been in the bookcase a while. I have a few of Maria Troll's books. They're beautiful books, aren't they? But for some reason I just haven't got to this one. Too many books, not enough time. But Nightfall by Maria Troll. This page was a bit of a test page, really. Not so much for the book, but for my Castle Art Gold pencils that I got last month. Yeah, I kind of like it now. I'm looking at the image. You know, some of the sections in it I think have worked quite well. I quite like the little, I've done them like they're a poinsettia. I don't know if they were supposed to be, probably not, but I kind of could, because I've done the mushrooms red, I thought it'd be quite nice to have kind of red green poinsettia flowers and then a little bit of snowdrops around them just for a bit of highlight. And kind of mixed feelings really about this particular page. I've used the Castle Arts and I can't lie, I did find them quite hard work. They're quite strange oil pencils. I was expecting, particularly on Maria Troll's paper, because it's, as you probably know, it's nice paper in her books. I thought, you know, an oil pencil will layer really nicely on her pages, surely. But yeah, I think they've definitely got a fair amount of wax in those pencils, or something. Well, as you can see, you can kind of see that it has that kind of slightly waxy shine to it as an image. And obviously on the mushroom heads and on the stalks, I really wanted quite a lot of layers to build up the effect that I wanted, and it did just get to the point where it was, no, you cannot put any more layers on, you can't put any more darkness into the mushroom, you can't get any more shadow underneath. So yeah, I was a little bit disappointed really with the performance. And normally with a waxy pencil, Holbeins for example, I know they are a mix, but they do sometimes with certain papers get to the point where their wax can be a bit too much to be able to layer again. At that point my luminance normally will always go over them, they don't seem to struggle. And the same with my Prismas, my luminance will still generally make a mark over the top. But yeah, this, I wanted to darken this a little bit more than it was, but no, nothing I had would work over the top once they got to this point where they were like, no, cannot layer anymore. So there were bits that were quite tricky really, like the squirrel's tail, and again, I hadn't really done a squirrel. This is a set of pencils that I'm not totally familiar with, so finding colours that would work to do the kind of little red squirrel look that I was aiming for this, I did find harder. I think obviously if I use them more, you get the feel for what works and what doesn't work with them, don't you? But in the tail again, I wanted the tail a little bit darker there where it meets the body, but it just got to the point where no, you cannot layer anything else over me. So you kind of just have to stop at that point. Obviously, being a more oily pencil, you can still see the line work quite a lot. So I have used quite a few bits of Posca and other paint pens that I've got to kind of hide the line in the squirrel tail, and a few other bits like that I wanted to. And I have used a white luminance as well, because the white in the castle set doesn't do very much, really. It certainly doesn't do lightning like a Derwent drawing would or my luminance white would. So but yeah, overall I'm pleased with it. I quite like the mushrooms. Obviously I really enjoyed doing a mushroom page, which is why I did this page, really, because I thought, yeah, that'll definitely be a page that I actually want to do, and I'll work it through. Excuse me, having a sip of my drink. But yeah, overall I'm pleased with it. Still a bit of a learning curve with these pencils, I think, is where I am, and they're not what I thought they'd be, I think, is how I feel about them. How it'll build into the pencils that I use all the time, not sure at the moment. I didn't hate using them, but I didn't love using them either. I think that's where I am at the moment, but I'm not a great oil pencil lover, so I'm wondering actually how they'd be on the Clara Markova paper, because I quite like my Brute Funas on that paper, so I might do a little bit of a test in one of the back pages of those to see how they work on them. But overall, pleased with the page. Quite like my little cute squirrel. He's cute, and I quite like the detail that I was able to get into him. Wasn't, again, not something I've tried to colour in before, a squirrel, and certainly not a red squirrel, and they have quite a strange coat when you start looking at them in pictures. So yeah, I was quite pleased with that overall. Overall, I like it. Or I'm trying to persuade myself I like it. Quite like this page as well. I might come back into this book next month. But Nightfall by Maria Troll. Needs to see more of that book, definitely. And then I've got Just Add Colour Circus by Sarah Walsh. This was a book that I saw on Doodle's channel. I think she's probably got a flip of this if you want to see a bit more detail of the book itself. But yeah, this is my first page in here, and I think the first thing I definitely liked about working in this book is the paper. The paper quality is really good, thick paper, and it takes watercolour quite nicely. So my background in this is Neo 2s that I've wetted, which, because I don't wet them a huge amount, but I kind of wanted these crazy women to look like they were kind of in the big top tent or something like that, that was kind of the bright background behind. And then obviously my husband was like, oh, that's a bright page, isn't it? Perhaps should have done a warning for her on this page. But yeah, warning, bright colours alert. Yeah, I just wanted them, to be kind of like performers, so really bright, strong colours. And that's what I kind of went for and enjoyed every minute of it. I really enjoy bright, silly, ridiculous colours. And then, as you can see, I did start to then bling them up a bit because, they're circus. There's got to be a bit of reflection and glam and feathers and glitter and all of that going on as well, isn't there? But yeah, this paper I really like in this book. It was a pleasure to work on it. Took the watercolour nice, took my luminance and Holbein beautifully. I've used paint wise. I did get a little sample from I think it was from Cult Pens. It's the same one that Debbie had from Call Me Stress Free. This little gold Derwent sample. So I thought I'm going to give it a go on this page. So the gold that's on here, on her little headdress thing, and it's on various different bits and pieces that you can see. The gold is is that particular paint. And then the other paints that are on here, like there's a lovely one down here. The other colours of paint are all my Renaissance Crown Jewels set. So the paint's out of that one. So there's a green, there's a blue, there's a purple, and there's this kind of reddy, well, it kind of looks red in one light, and then when you see it from the other, it kind of goes quite dark black. So it's quite funny paint. But yeah, I just thought the colours in that particular set were really useful for this page. And again, I think I did use some Signo silver metallic and some Signo sparkling silver as well on this page. But yeah, really enjoyed this page. Just could go to town with some colour and bling and craziness, and yeah, just really enjoyed it. So yeah, out of Just That Colour by Sarah Walsh. Great little book. Really enjoyed working in here. Again, may pop up this month again. Really enjoyed it. Then I was also working in this one fairly early on in the month as well. So Love Fantasy colouring book. Don't know. No clue what it's called. But yeah, I started on this one fairly early in the month, really. Move my tag out the way. And this, again, lovely paper in this as well. This I did, again, in Pro Colour. Because I thought the cactus would need quite a bit of layering to kind of get the depth on it. And I thought, well, I'm going to work with Pro Colour because I know that they will layer quite nicely. And if I'm still not happy, I can layer other things on top of those quite successfully. And they did kind of work really nicely on this paper. They seem to really get along with that. Yeah, the cactuses did take quite a while. Again, not something I've done a huge amount of. I don't think I've ever coloured a cactus. Again, my pro markers, my only criticism would be you kind of feel like, oh, I'm just missing a colour here. Could just do with this or could just do with that. Yeah, I love them as pencils. I just wish there was more of them, really, to give you a bigger colour choice, particularly with greens, with something like this. Like, I would have liked these to have been a bit more different from each other in colour terms, but you're kind of either really heavy dark greens, or this was kind of your only choice for greens, and then I've used some yellow over as well just to brighten it a little bit. But yeah, it's a really fun page. Bit of a learning curve with the hedgehogs. Love the hedgehogs. Get hedgehogs in my back garden all the time. They are my dog's nemesis. She goes out most evenings through the summer and does a little track around my garden, like in a little path. Where has the hedgehog been? Where has, because I can just hear her sniffing. Where's he been? Where's he been? Last year she did actually come across the hedgehog, and then was obviously, oh, I'm going to get rid of that thing. Made him a bit of a mistake there. Got poked in the nose with the spines, and then just stood there shouting at it. So yeah, I've got to keep her eye on her in the garden, in case we have to go hedgehog alert and move the hedgehog just so she stops shouting at it. But they're lovely creatures and they're great for the garden. But colouring them, that's a whole different challenge. I was not sure how to tackle the spines, so I've kind of layered quite a few different colours. Looking at photographs, a lot of them had the spines going lighter at the end, which I did chicken out of a little bit. They're kind of lighter at the end, but wasn't quite the effect that I wanted to have a go at. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with them, because I was, yeah, a little bit, oh, I don't know how to colour a hedgehog. That's quite difficult with loads of spines, but it's kind of come together. I quite like them now. And obviously there's got the little flowers on it as well. I just kind of decided to keep all the flowers the same colour, really. I thought I won't make a big, I don't want different ones all over. I think it kind of pulls the eye away from it. So I was quite pleased with that. And then the sky, the background, was in my Jane Davenport palette pastels. The ones that look like little eyeshadows in a case. And yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I don't use them very often, pastel. I kind of, when I think about pastels, they make my skin crawl a little bit. But they were perfect for doing the background in here. I didn't want anything that was kind of in your face. Just wanted a really kind of soft, light, sky-ish background. And I kind of feel like that's kind of worked quite well. I've just been using them, excuse my squeaky chair, I've just been using them with, these little finger daubers. So those were just, you can see the ones I've just been using with them. So I've just used the palette pastels with the finger daubers, and they worked quite nicely in the background and gave that kind of mottled sky look that I was really looking for. So yeah, my little double hedgehog house. My husband did say, has he got to have a ladder because he's too fat to get through the door? Yeah, rude. That's just rude. Poor hedgehog. You want a hedgehog to be fat. But yeah, my love fantasy, no idea what this book's called, book that I got last month. It's in my last haul before this video if you want to see more from it. Lovely book, really like it. And then my Welcome to the Village, a cosy colouring book by Morgan O'Brien. Love this book. It's, silly, but I really enjoy it. And I did pick one of the pages that we looked at in my What Am I Going to Get Coloured this month video. So I picked this one that happens all the time in the game. Oh, my present's over the water. It's lost. Why can't this elephant shut up? Then I can actually go and get that present. Too late. He's talked for too long and I can't get out of the dialogue screen. Silly, I know. But it does make me smile. Really enjoyed these pages. This book is such a great little book for a quick colour. I did this last night. Takes a few hours. Really easy to work through. This was in my Deco Art pens, I think. These ones. Deco Art twin markers in the main as a base. I think I might have used a Copic on their skin colour because I don't have a good skin colour in those sets because they're only cheap ones. But pretty much all the other was, well, you can see how much alcohol markers I've done, but pretty much all the other had a base in those. And then I just worked Prisma over the top, a little bit of my Luminance white just to take some of the heavy line work out here and there, and a couple of sections with Posca. And I think there's just a little bit around her face, around there, and obviously in that little flower in her hair. But yeah, I really enjoy this page. It was fun to do. It's quick. It's just a fun, quick colour. I really like it. And yeah, probably see another one in this book next time. But Welcome to the Village by Morgan O'Brien, a cosy colouring book. And it kind of is, isn't it? I like it. And then my last one, I was never going to swerve a bit of Hannah Carlson for the month. Back to one of my all-time favourites. Have I marked the page? Yes, I have. Excuse me, reaching over. So, yeah, I picked out quite a few pages for Hannah Carlson, and I did want to work again in her new one, but I started on this one, and it did take me a long time in a month that I was already behind with my colouring, really. So I think this is the only portrait I've done this month, isn't it? Which is, for me, is quite strange. But yeah, it took me a long time. Working on her skin layers, I wanted a smoother look to her skin, which I'm fairly happy it looks a little bit smoother than I've had in the last few portraits that I've been working on. Skin is Luminance. And then once I got it to the point where I was happy with it, the Luminance, I've worked over a little bit with Derwent Drawing. The downside of that is it does give you a bit more of a waxy sheen using the Derwent Drawing over it. But I think it has helped to kind of even out the tones that I've got a little bit more and a bit better gradual change. So I'm kind of happy, and I'll probably do that again next time I do another skin. This page I've been wanting to do for a while because it has all this greenway around the edge, and it's pretty much this page just colour pencils, Luminance, Holbein, and like I say, a little bit Derwent Drawing. There's probably a variety of acrylic pens here and there to get rid of line work that I don't like, and the odd bit of acrylic paint here and there, but the background is Holbein's, I think, in the main, looking at the colour palette. The hair I did I do them with Lightfast? I think I did the hair with Lightfast, yeah, because I'm tending to do that now. I'm tending to, don't know why, just these things just seem to start happening, but I tend to do the skin with luminance and then the hair with light fast, backgrounds with Holbein and decorations with Holbeins. Whenever I'm doing pearls and gems and things like that, Holbeins seem to be my go-to for those particular sections. And then light fast again for eyebrows and things like that, because they just keep that point so nicely, and they've got the kind of right colour palette for this type of hair, certainly. But yeah, I really enjoyed working on her this month, even though my camera doesn't seem to want to focus close up today. Sorry, the light's not very good today. It's a bit of a grey, dull day. I don't even think I've used any gel pens in this. I don't think there's even one bit of glitter or... Yeah, it's just pure pencil work. No glitter, no metallic watercolours. Just pencil and the odd little bit of pen and paint just to get rid of lines and edging. But yeah, really took me a long time, this page, but I did enjoy it. Yeah, and I'm quite pleased with it for me. That's saying something. Normally I'm like, oh, I hate that bit though, don't look there, or I hate that bit. But yeah, overall I'm fairly happy with it. So yeah, that's my last one this month. Thank you very much if you've got this far and watched. Oh, I know what else I've got, actually. Telling lies. Where have I put it though? Oh, let me get it. I have also been doing I've lost my tea. My tea fell off. I have been doing what should have been an art journal, but my tea seems to have gone walkabout. Typical. It's because of the heat that in here. My room is where I craft is at the front of the house, and in the heat that we had, this room just gets like an oven. It gets so warm in here. Anyway, I've been starting an art journal because I have quite a lot of stamps and things like that. So I started an intro page into my journal. So yeah, I might be at the end of my what have I done this month videos, just showing you what I've done in here as well, even though I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. So it's a mixture of things. I've got stickers. These two are stickers. These are stamps, as is this, that I have stamped on my page, and then I've just coloured it in, which is why I'm still showing it on my colouring and video. And I think that's kind of what I'm going to do in here. There will be a bit of collage and bits and pieces, but mostly I want to kind of use some of my stamps that I have in a bit more of a creative way, rather than card making, using it in my book and actually just working on it like I would a colouring page and building up backgrounds and all of that. So I think the background on this was my King Art gel crayons. Then I stamped them, then I've coloured them in. I've written a little bit. I've got a couple of ribbons, got some stickers, because loves a little bit of stickers. But yeah, it's my first page on here, and hopefully this will be starting to develop over the months as well with my colouring. I'll have to go and find my tea now. I don't know where that's gone. How annoying. But yeah, that is the end of my video this month. So thank you very much for watching. Much appreciated if you're still here. If you could give me a like, that would be really very helpful. And as usual, I always love to hear your comments, thoughts, criticisms. Quite happy to hear it. Whatever you've got. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you're enjoying your colouring. Bye bye.